What's up guys? Today in this video, I wanted to share my honest review of two of the most expensive chairs on the market right now and share my story dealing with back and neck pain over the last few months, working online and working from my computer every single day. While the lifestyle is great, the back and neck pain definitely don't agree with that, and it's a huge problem I've been facing recently. So I wanted to make this video to share all of those problems with you and potential solutions that I've attempted, and also give the two honest reviews of these chairs, because I notice a lot of the reviews online of these chairs and similar chairs, they pretty much are just selling the chairs because they want to make an affiliate commission. But I wanted to make this video different, give you like a full in-depth review and honest, most importantly, honest review of these chairs, because I don't really care about making the money from this video. And I decided to buy these two chairs because of my back and neck pain, and I actually tried out a lot of different chairs. So if you're in the situation where you're maybe having some back and neck pain issues right now, you're working from your home or your computer or your office and you're having those problems right now, stay tuned to the end of this video, because I really think it'll help you out and save you a lot of time having to do a ton of research online, and I'm sure some of you guys already have. And it's been a struggle, definitely for me, trying to figure out the right solution to fix my back and neck issues. So I'm going to give first off my honest review of these chairs, and then maybe share some extra tips that I found out as well, and also share some of the other chairs that I've tried out and tested as well. And also, if you're wondering, are these chairs worth it? I will definitely be answering this question in this video as well, because they are very expensive, and I'll give you guys my honest opinion whether it's worth it or not. I think it's only worth it for a certain type of person, so I'll kind of explain that at the end of the video as well. So first off, I just wanted to jump in to the reviews of each of these chairs. I just decided I was just tired of my back and neck pain. I decided, screw it, I'm just going to get the best of the best chairs, the most expensive on the market, the ones with the best reviews and everything like that, because I was just absolutely had it. I had like a $60 IKEA chair at my desk, and it was okay, but I was still getting a lot of back and neck pain issues with that. So I decided to go ahead and get these two because I couldn't decide which. I went to stores in person, tested them each out, which I recommend you go and do if you have stores near you where you can test out these chairs. Not everybody might have that, so I totally understand, and hopefully this review can help you out. I'm going to cover pretty much every point of these chairs that are pretty much different, and things that are good, things that are bad. So first off, I'll just kind of like work my way down the chair. The reason that I have two headrests, you don't have to have headrests on either of these chairs. This is actually a third-party headrest. This is the Herman Miller Aeron. This one costed about $1,200, and this is the Steelcase Gesture. This one costed over $1,500. Without the headrest, it takes like $200 off or something like that. But they're very expensive chairs, and definitely a pretty big investment, which can be worth it if it does solve your back and neck pain issues, definitely, because the amount of hours that I've wasted not being able to work because of that pain has really definitely cost me a lot more than that cost of these chairs. But I'll kind of work my way down. The headrest on this Gesture is absolutely amazing. So I had the neck pain in the front of my neck due to looking up or down too much or looking from side to side. This recently happened when I switched to bigger screens at my desktop setup. So I've been trying to solve that. I haven't solved it completely yet, but somewhat have. But this is honestly one of the best headrests I've ever had. This one is pretty good too. This is third party. I got to get this on Amazon separate because the Aeron doesn't come with a headrest, or none of Herman Miller chairs come with a headrest because they don't actually recommend a headrest. And really, for most people, you probably shouldn't be sitting with a headrest, like your head against the headrest while you're working, like sitting up. But the headrest will really come into play when you want to lean back and maybe like relax your back, and you can work while leaning back, which both of these chairs allow you to do, which I'll show you that in a minute. So working down from the headrest, I definitely would prefer this headrest a little bit, but this one is still really good. This is the Atlas headrest for the Herman Miller chair. You can get that on Amazon separately from the chair, and they both work amazing. The thing I like about this one better is actually this one is extremely easy to adjust. This is definitely the best headrest for the Herman Miller Aeron, and you can adjust it so many ways. It's so easy to adjust, and you can pretty much put it anywhere you want it very quickly. The downside of this one is a lot more difficult to adjust. It does adjust as much as you need it to, but it just takes more time to adjust it and get it in the right spot. Compared to this one, you can change it around a lot more quickly. Okay, now back to like the lumbar support on each of these. The Herman Miller Aeron definitely wins on this one. The back and lumbar support is like 100 times better. Even the Steelcase Leap has a lot better lower lumbar support than the Gesture does. If you get the Gesture, definitely get their adjustable lumbar support. It makes a really big difference. But I think this is the number one place that the Gesture is lacking, is the lumbar support. I feel like the lower back support is not the greatest on this chair. As far as the overall comfortability of it, that's probably its biggest weakness. But the main reason I decided to go with this one and get this one as well is because of this amazing headrest. Now, another thing that's really beneficial, and by the way, this lumbar support, one thing I didn't like about it, you can't adjust it up and down, but you can adjust the firmness, so you can make the lumbar support more firm or less firm. So that's what you can see here actually through the mesh here. So actually that brings up another point as well. So you can see this one is mesh, and this one is more of like a fabric. There's benefits and downsides to both. The fabric is definitely less breathable. You can't really breathe through it. It is warmer though, so if you have like a more colder environment or you like to keep the thing cold, you might get a little bit, like for this one, for example, the Aeron, sometimes I get actually a little bit cold in this one if the air around me is pretty cold because the air goes through it a lot more. But this one kind of doesn't really have the breathability, but this one has the breathability. So there's benefits and downsides both, depending on what your personal preference is. And then the next thing I want to cover is the armrests. So, and I'm actually doing this in one take because I wanted to prove to you guys, I wanted to give an honest review, not just like a bunch of cuts. And I'm just giving you like my uncut, honest review of these chairs. So, armrests here, these are like honestly some of the best armrests in the industry. There's only one problem with these armrests that I personally didn't like. Well, two things actually. Well, yeah, it's kind of the same thing, but the worst thing about these ones, the thing I like about the Aeron better is that the armrests are further back. So the armrests are like all the way almost behind the chair compared to this. The armrests are a little bit in front. And this doesn't really make too much of a difference looking at it now, but when you're sitting down in them, I definitely prefer having the armrests back more. And sometimes the armrests on the Gesture can be too far forward, especially if you're leaning back. Because if you're leaning back, the armrests stay in the same spot. The armrests don't lean back with you. So if you're wanting to be in a lean back position, the armrests are almost like you have to put like your arms out like this to still be on the armrest, which is kind of frustrating. I wish that the armrest on the Steelcase Gesture could be moved back further. That's the main downside of that one. But the benefit is you can move, these are like the most adjustable armrests ever. You can move them so far in, so far out. You can move them up and down a huge amount and any way that you want. They're extremely easy to move. Compared to the Aeron, you can't move these ones in, and sometimes there's been times where I wish I could move them in more when I can't, but you can move them like back and forth like this a little bit, and you can move them up and down, even though it is a little bit more difficult to move them up and down, but I haven't really found it too much of an issue. There's a lever on the back here that you can just pull up and it'll let you move the armrest up and down. So that's the benefits and downsides to both. Benefit is these ones you can move around a lot more. Downside is they're a little bit too far forward for my personal preference. Next thing, so we'll go down to the seat and actually like the reclining. And for this part, I might need to move the camera down a little bit so you guys can see this. And hopefully it's not too dark, but hopefully I can still describe it pretty well. You can see here, this one has this lever here. The Herman Miller has the lever here. And it actually has a special mode where it leans forward. And I believe it's in that right now. So this chair is actually slightly leaned forward right now. You probably can't tell, but normally it's back like this. So this would be like the normal position for this chair, but it's leaned forward. It's a special mode where it's leaned forward and it kind of like holds your body up. That's like an optional mode, which is this front lever. And then there's this, on the same lever, there's like another turn dial that you can turn as well that will allow you to set how far it's gonna lean back. So the first one does that. So you can see here, see now it doesn't go forward anymore if I turn that lever. You turn it forward and then it'll allow it to go forward, and when you lean back in the chair, it'll kind of push back at you, which I kind of like that feature. It is pretty nice to sit in. It feels a little bit awkward at first, but it is pretty nice. So I'm gonna put it back in the back mode, and then I'm gonna allow it to lean back. And this is one of my favorite parts about this chair. You can see one thing difference that I'll point out right now. So you can see how the chair actually moves on the Herman Miller, the chair moves when you lean back in it. With this one, it doesn't really move back as much, so that's kind of a downside. The chair doesn't, so the Herman Miller chair kind of comes with you when it goes back. The Steelcase only the back part moves, whereas the Herman Miller, these two are kind of connected together. So that's one downside, and the Herman Miller is definitely a lot more comfortable to lean back in, and you can play games or watch videos while leaning back in the chair very easily, especially if you have the headrest too. It's extremely comfortable to lean back in this chair. Maybe I'll show you an example right now. So I'll lean back in the chair for you. And then, so you can lean back just like this, have your headrest on there. It is extremely comfortable, and the armrest in the perfect position for this too, and you can work while leaned back. It's absolutely amazing. So, one downside that I have noticed though with the Herman Miller chair, and I don't know why this is, but I have been getting a little bit, occasionally if I sit a certain way, I can get a little bit of hip flexor tension, and a little bit of soreness in my hip flexors. And I think it might be because of the fact that it comes up like that when it leans back. It can, since your legs are up a little bit, it can cause your hips, if you stay in that position, that lean back position too long, your hip flexors can get a little bit tight because your legs are so far up in the air. Which is not, it's definitely a lot more comfortable, but it might be a little bit tough on your hip flexors. So I'll show you guys the difference here with the gesture compared to leaning back. So you'll be able to notice the seat doesn't move up when I lean back. So let me actually lean this back for you guys. Give me one sec. The adjuster, so the adjuster knobs are over here on this one, so you can't see them, but there's the height adjustment. This one actually has a seat pan adjustment too, so you can move the seat back and forward. The Herman Miller doesn't have that, but they have 3 sizes. So that's kind of the solution to them. They have 3 different sizes, so it'll fit whatever body type you need, so it doesn't really matter that much that it doesn't have it. And then this one right here, there's a knob here that will allow you to lean back. So there you go. So you can see how in this one, only the back moves. The seat actually doesn't move up with you. So it's still comfortable, but it's not as easy to work, and not really, like you can relax like this, but you can't really work like this. So that's kind of the downside to that one. They can both lean back pretty far. You won't fall over, I can pretty much guarantee you that. And that covers that. So finally, on both of them I have hardwood floor casters. Let me think if there's anything else that I missed here. Honestly, I feel like I covered pretty much everything, honestly, in these chairs. The tension here, just that. Making sure I got everything. Yeah, honestly, that's pretty much everything with these chairs. I'll move it back up, and then I'll share with you my story about solving back pain and on my honest review on whether these chairs are worth it or not. So overall, both chairs are great. If I had to pick one, definitely would pick the Herman Miller Aeron because of the fact that it's a lot more comfortable overall. Honestly, to be completely honest with you guys, this one, I think the looks are better. And another downside of this as well that I didn't point out, this is actually graphite gray. You cannot get this chair in complete black like this one is. You can probably see the difference in the camera right now. This one has like a slight gray tint to it. It's like graphite, like the tip of a pencil color. That's one big downside of this chair that I didn't really like. It doesn't match my office as well, but it's not a huge deal breaker. I was mostly concerned about the comfortability of it. And some people might prefer the look of this chair if I spin them all the way around. They both look pretty good, but I think I definitely prefer the look of the Gesture. Definitely looks a lot better and a lot cleaner, a lot more modern. But overall, the most important thing is solving your back pain. So I think I would probably have to go with this. Honestly, I feel like this chair is pretty overpriced for what it is. And to be honest, I think honestly, if I'm being completely dead honest, I feel like both chairs might be a little bit overpriced. While this one is still like an amazing, amazing chair, and it's the best of the best, really. Another chairs that I tested out were the Herman Miller Embody. That chair is amazing. The only reason I didn't go with it is because I wanted the headrest and the ability to lean back like that and relax with the headrest. So the Herman Miller Embody is definitely worth checking out. And the Steelcase Leap, I did sit in that one as well. I really did not like the look of it. I thought it was kind of older and ugly looking, so that's one reason I didn't go with it. And also, the headrest was not very good on the Leap. And but the lower back support and the comfortability of the chair on the Leap compared to the Gesture, the Leap was definitely a lot more comfortable. Overall, I'd say the Herman Miller is definitely more comfortable. I've spent a few weeks in each of these chairs and been testing them out. It's not like I've sat in these chairs once and just done it. So honestly, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this chair. I might return it or see what I can do or resell it, something like that. It still is a very good chair, just a little bit overpriced in my opinion. And the only person that I really recommend these chairs for is either if you have like a lot of extra money to spend, and if you have pretty much just a lot of extra money to spend, it's probably worth it to get like a Herman Miller or something like that. And if you're having back pain as well, if you're having back pain overall, it might be still worth a try to go ahead and try the Herman Miller. I know they have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if it doesn't help your problems, then you can go ahead and return it at that point. So overall, I really hope this video helps you guys. And lastly, I'm just going to share some final tips with you on my overall things that I've changed with my setup and things like that that have helped my neck and back pain working on a computer all day. Obviously, the biggest solution to this is working at your computer as least lowest amount of time as possible, and switching up your positions as much as possible. You probably heard that before, but having a standing desk is probably the first thing I would probably even choose over having a chair. So if you only have a certain amount of money, I would probably recommend getting the standing desk and moving desk that you can move up and down to any height you want, compared to getting a chair, because then you can sit on a ball some part of the day, you can sit on a regular chair some part of the day, and you can stand up some part of the day, and you can move your positions around a lot more compared to if you have a stationary desk. I would say that's the first change. Second change that you need to make your routine: try to get up and get outside or walk around, go for a walk. Or for me, I go to the gym in the middle of the day purposely. A lot of people like to go to the gym in the morning, but I go in the middle of the day purposely so I can get a break and get my legs and my body moving around, compared to just sitting stationary all day. Look, guys, our bodies are not made to sit stationary all day at a computer. It just won't be helpful at all. Our bodies are just naturally not made to be that way. So you have to try to minimize that time and split it up as much as possible, that you're sitting in the same position for a long period of time. Our bodies aren't meant to do that. Another thing that can really help you a lot, surprisingly, is meditation, because you can learn to be mindful of the ways that your body is feeling even when you're working. Because I know a lot of times you can get so focused in your work that you forget that your body's like getting super sore. So sometimes it might be helpful to practice some meditation or some mindfulness every once in a while throughout your day, to take an inventory of how your body's feeling and really read off that. So for example, if your hip flexors are getting really tight, like if you're sitting in a certain position, you need to switch that position up so you don't get sore the next day. And if you keep getting sore and sore over and over again, you're going to just make it worse and worse. So really taking the time out of your day to have that mindfulness, switch up your positions, invest in a good desk and a good chair preferably as well. You don't have to. You can do perfectly fine on a really cheap chair. It just depends. Everybody's completely different, so you have to test out on your own what works best for you. But at the moment, I'm really enjoying this chair, and overall it's extremely comfortable. And definitely I've sat in like many chairs, and it's definitely the most comfortable that I've sat in out of any of the chairs. But is it worth like $1,000 difference between like a $200 chair or a $60 chair? It depends on how much finances you have. If you don't have that much, it may not be worth it just yet. If you have a lot of extra money, yes, it's probably worth it. So that'd be my simple answer to answer like whether it's worth it or not. Another thing that will help you as well, if you're having neck pain, or even if you're having like lower back pain going like this, if you're standing up or leaning forward, or upper back pain. This is one I dealt with a lot. So before, I used to work with my laptop directly on my desk, and I would always be looking down like this. That is not good. You have to be looking straight forward. So get your monitor off the table and get your monitor like close to like middle of your eye level, or put your monitors on a stand, not just on the table. You have to get like a monitor stand where you can have the monitors move them at any height you want. That will help you a lot if you're having upper back pain or neck pain. That will be super helpful for you. And those are all my main tips to helping you guys fix your back and neck pain. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and this honest review. If you want to check out either of these chairs, I'll put like the Amazon links in the description, and obviously there'll be affiliate links if I decide to put affiliate links, but you don't have to use the affiliate links. You can search them online if you want. Only use them if you feel like this video actually helped you and you actually felt like I was honest with this video. I'm not really looking to make money off of it, to be real with you guys. Make money plenty of other ways. My job is not making reviews on YouTube. I just wanted to give you my honest review on this, because this is something that I felt would have really helped me out when I was searching for these chairs online. I looked at probably like 50 different reviews of these chairs, and I felt like all of them, and lots of different chairs, a lot of them were being dishonest and just trying to sell you the chairs so they could get an affiliate commission. Another thing that I wanted to mention as well, in case it helps you guys, finally, I did also look at gaming chairs too. And while the gaming chairs, the one that I found, so if you want a gaming style chair for like $300, the Omega, I don't know what it's called, it's something Omega, like Secret Labs Omega. That one seemed like a really, really good chair that I would probably want to test out as well. But I think overall, for ergonomic wise, I think the Herman Miller is definitely better, but it's still like $1,000 more almost. So it's a really big difference. So if you want like a $300 chair that looks really good and things like that, I might put that one in the link in the description too. That was kind of my third option besides these two chairs that I was thinking about testing out, but I decided to just go with these ones. But other than that, hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and look forward to seeing you in the next one. If you enjoy watching business type content or learning about social media marketing, how to market your business. Thank you guys very much for watching. See ya.